Alright, here with a quick update video. I thought I uploaded this, but I guess I didn't. I got my indoor Crocs on, got my pajamas on, I'm ready to go make this video real quick. So, this here is a stock T4 bushing. This is what it comes with from the factory. You know, excellent little graphite inserts there, supposed to reduce the friction. And here's a second one from the other side, and as you can see, you might be wondering, why are those graphite, things missing? Well, you can see right where the excellent little grub screw, set screw, punctures the bushings on the T4. It's very cool. It's very awesome. So I've been told that they have changed this design, that they use bigger versions of these or something, or they're taller, they have more, holes and stuff like that. This one is just a single channel. I've seen the new ones where, they have like, they're lined with 2 rows of those little graphite things. And supposedly that can't happen on those ones or whatever. But not only was that my issue, but the whole time this thing sounded crazy. Every time I would compress it and uncompress it, it would sound crazy. It would rattle. It made all kind of noise. So what I've done, this is not the one that I've used, but I have changed the bushings. These are some different ones. I have a couple different sizes here. The stock bushings were something like 13 millimeters. People said they were 15 or something like that. These are like 10. These are really thin. So the master ones are bigger, I guess. I don't know. This wheel came out after the master, I believe. My T4. Whatever. Just Begode things, making changes for the worse. But this is what I have switched to on the T4. There's zero way for you to damage this by putting a grub screw in here. And 2, I didn't even need the grub screw. The grub screw, I just put it in there just because I could. So I've done this on both sides. You can't see this side as good because of the lighting, but there we go. So what I had to do to get this to fit is you do have to grind away a little bit from the motor bolt. And you have to do that on both sides, so that way it fits in there. And what I mean is both sides. It's just one side, but you have to do both. So you have to do this side, and then you have to do the lower one. The upper ones, it doesn't go deep enough for that to interfere. If you can see that, there is a stopper there. My pedal stops getting in the way. But yeah, it only sits about this far in. And then the rest of it is sticking down here. So you have to grind a groove across on one side and the other side. All you have to do is just take a marker, mark, straight across. You could go like this and then just mark one side, mark the other side, and then you just start taking away until eventually that you take enough. It's not an exact science. You just do enough. I don't have a video of what they looked like or anything. I could have documented the whole process, but whatever. But yeah, that fixes a lot of the issues I was having with the T4, making noise, just slop in the suspension. I was going to brake and it would go and make this really terrible noise that sounds almost like the motor bolts are loose. And I know my motor bolts aren't loose. They've always been tight. They don't back out or anything on this wheel. I've not had many other issues. But yeah, that's a thing. Just wanted to put this out there. I will put the links for not the stock ones. Do not buy these stock ones if you own a T4. Unless there's a version or something that has good ones of these or whatever, and maybe these do work on some other person's wheel. My version has the plastic boxes. If you're watching, my version has the plastic boxes. I have the let's see if the motor code is present. I have the QSC30 motor. I got this used from somebody that I believe got it from Alien Ride, so I don't know exactly what version. I don't know what motherboard I have, etc. Maybe the new ones that have the metal battery boxes and stuff are different. I'm not sure. I don't have that information. All I know is what works on my wheel. I will post the link to the smaller versions. It's not these ones. They're not this big. They're a little bit smaller, I would say. They're a little bit longer than these ones, And honestly, they almost fit without grinding. If you don't care, and you're just a crazy person, you can put the bolts through, and the bolts will just kind of ream through. It's just copper. It's copper, and they're graphite lined. Sorry if I didn't say that. You know, they're graphite lined. They're still, you know, the friction is excellent. Actually, I have less friction now because these actually work correctly, and it's no sound. It sounds great. There's only sound if I bottom out. It only happens if I go for like a 4-foot drop. I'm still on the stock suspension. I kind of want to try one of the D&M shocks, one of the air shocks, like the one that comes stock in the S18. I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do next. I'm happy with where my T4 is at now. It's good on everything except like incredibly extreme stuff. Most single track, it's good through the whole trail. I don't know if I want to make the wheel ride bad just so I don't bottom out on like an 8-foot drop or something like that. That's only something I'm going to do in very extreme circumstances. And I'm debating just keeping my S18 if I know I'm going to go do something like that. Like if I know I'm going to a jump track, I can jump the S18. I weigh like 140 pounds. I'm light enough. I've jumped it for years. It's been great for, 2,000 miles of trails for me. I changed my pedals. I had the Nylonovs on here. I wanted thinner pedals. I put the Alien Rides Death pedals. If people don't know, there was a service announcement, or there was a brief announcement that these pedals are, let's see if I can show you. These are a little bit thin because they CNC'd the tops off, and these have bent and broken in various areas for people. So do be aware that these may not be the safest if you're a heavier rider, but my EXN is street only, and the grip that these offer is pretty good. It's not as good as the Clarks. This is another misconception I want to clear up while I'm at it. This will turn into a little bit of a ramble here. But if there's fewer studs, then that actually gives you more grip on those studs. If there's too many studs, if there's something like this where the whole thing is covered in studs, it becomes like the bed of nails thing. And this is something that's, this should be known. This is an old physics concept where the person would lay on a bed of nails and people would be impressed. But if there's hundreds of nails, no matter how sharp they are, if there's 1,000 points of contact, it doesn't feel as bad if you go like this versus if you just push down on a single nail. And for some reason, people in the UC community just seem to think that, more spikes is better. But I've had pedals before that have, decent spikes on them. They just have too many. Sometimes there's too many. But, these give me excellent grip. And you don't need a lot to have good grip. You just need a few well placed, and then you're good to go. But, yeah, got the death pedals on the EXN. Adjusted them up a little bit so I can turn a little bit better. If anyone knows and has watched this far, what are some good T4 tires? Single track off-road tires. I'm just interested, what are people riding? I like this tire. I like this tire because it's so thick. Like not just wide, but it's thick. So there's very little chance I'm going to hurt this rim at my weight. I run it about 36, 38 PSI. It has no give to it. This thing is a tank. So I'm not worried that the rim's ever going to get hurt with this tire, but the tire profile is it's a little shallow. It's a little dumpy. It doesn't really doesn't turn too well. And going in a straight line off-road and stuff like that, it's great. But if it's real technical single track, and you're riding on like a super wide tire like this, sometimes it hits stuff you don't want it to. Sometimes it doesn't turn as hard as you want it to. So I have to dry steer and I have to twist my body to get it to point where I want it to go. Just curious if there's any more playful off-road tires that I could run. I don't know about the 12-inch rim. I know so much about the 14-inch rims that we've had for ages, but the 12-inch rim is still a little bit unknown to me. So yeah, if anyone knows good off-road tires, or I just like trying tires in general. I got all my tires up there that I've tried, but this is the only tire I've had on the T4, and it's holding up. It's holding up good for me. I don't really dislike it. And if I was riding it only street, then you know, I would have changed this already, definitely, but off-road, it's fine. It doesn't really, like, have the fall-off characteristic of the CST knobby, where it's kind of just, like, flat, and then you just tip over the edge. Um, it has a nice gradient to it. You don't just fall off of it. It doesn't just hit a tipping point or anything, so that's good, but yeah, just curious if there's something else out there. All right, thanks for watching.